Yar, mateys, 'tis the last day of Toy Fair 2006. The RTM podcast are going ahead full steam. And we'll make you walk the plank starting with some Mega Bloks Pirates news. You scurvy dogs don't deserve to hear it, but you're gonna anyway.
And that's enough pirate talk. Although I don't consider myself a pilot, although I have sailed across the Atlantic 1, 2, 3 times, and it's no fun. But anyway, wanted to kick back here on day 5 of Toy Fair 2006. This is Rob, RTM podcast. We're going to be covering, kicking it off with some Mega Bloks action. We got into Mega Bloks to check them out today, and if you like the Pirates line, and let's face it, who doesn't? It's a great construction line. They've got it's just a cool line. I mean, they're pirates. They got ships. They got environments and all that, and they're also going to have Johnny Depp. But more on that in just a second. Just to kick it off, they are going to continue the regular Pirates line. And what they had on display were like 2 of the metallic skulls, which are on the back of the crew packs. They just had them there. You know, they're, again, similar to the skull packs from before. And they also have a couple of new, bigger sets. Not another ship, though, for the Pirates, for the regular Pirates line. They don't have the giant ship that they showed last year at Toy Fair, which had a giganimous box, too. But I guess they could never find retail placement because it was just too big. But they did have a couple new regular pirate sets, so that's really cool. But the really cool news for fans of pirates and Johnny Depp, and let's face it, who's not a fan of a pirate or Johnny Depp? I mean, come on, that is, and I can say this with all, my heterosexuality intact, that is one good-looking man. All right? Now, enough of that. They are doing a full Pirates of the Caribbean line of construction sets. And by full, I don't mean let's rehash some old sets and call them Pirates of the Caribbean and throw in a Johnny Depp figure. Although, I will tell you right now, I believe every single set they had a Johnny Depp minifigure in it. But they're kicking it off in high speed. Let me tell you, there were 2 skull play sets, similar to the skull, the smaller skull play sets that you've already seen. One really cool thing about the skulls were they had like a bandana, just like Captain Jack Sparrow's. So, they kind of sculpted some new skulls, changed them up a little bit. But there's a couple of them. There are several new playset environments that cover stuff that are in the movie. There's like a tower and I think a wheel where they fight. I got to look back at the pictures, but there are several playsets, and again, this stuff's all new. I mean, it's not a rehash of like the Smuggler set or the Treasure Island set. Okay, these are brand new, totally new sets. There may even be a couple more sets in there, but there's at least 2 regular play environments, at least 2 skull sets, and yes, 2 ships, 2 complete ships. One of them is, of course, the Black Pearl, which everyone would love to have from the first movie, but it's the second movie. We'll have some extra crew members. And the other one is Davy Jones' ship, the Flying Dutchman. So, and they're big. They're probably about the size of the larger. They're about the same size as the ships in the regular Pirates line. I know they're both a little different size, but similar size, and they're about roughly those sizes. I can't remember if they were, as big as the bigger one or the same size as the smaller one. But if you were wondering about it, it looks really cool. I mean, okay, it's the same pirate minifigure, but it's got a Johnny Depp head on it, and they also had a Will Turner, one for you Orlando Bloom fans. But definitely a very cool looking line. Very cool, that's for sure. And they also have, but hey, what else did you want to know? But seriously though, they're also going to continue the Dragons line, another very cool line. They've got more series of a new kind of twist on the eggs, and they're going to continue with the various play sets. And I'm not as familiar with the Dragons line. It's certainly not a bad line. I like the Plasma Dragons, the little bitty ones are about $5 or $6, and they come in a little they come in a little egg with a little goo packet like around them. But anyway, they're actually very cool. But they're going to continue the Dragons line. They got a lot of stuff planned for that. And then again, we'll have to look through our information pictures to kind of list it out later. But that's not going anywhere. Also, the Magnetic Warriors, they had plenty of those. They have like Magnetics, I believe it's called. It's a construction system based on magnets. They have like a preschool line and then a larger line that you can make all kinds of things. It's not, it's similar to Lego in a way. I mean, it's that kind of a building set kind of thing. Along the lines of their Marvel license, they did have another like a Spider-Man versus Venom set, a Fantastic Four Baxter Building set. They didn't really have any more like the Spider-Man bot or the larger figures that are kind of like Bionicle Toa-sized guys. They didn't have any more of those, but they're going to be doing like the Mag Warriors. They're going to be doing that with Marvel, and they had a Hulk and a Wolverine, and I think they're doing a Spider-Man too. So if you like the little Mag figures, then they're going to continue that line. And they also have more Pro Builder stuff. They also have, they're continuing a lot of the same stuff that they did, which is, but mainly the ones I was interested in, and probably most, a lot of readers are Dragons and the Pirates, and of course Pirates of the Caribbean too. And they're doing all of them, and they all look great. One thing too, I haven't seen the Narnia movie yet. It's going to be like a, buy the DVD kind of thing for me, but. They had 3 sets from that, 2 smaller ones and 1 medium-sized set, and they have the license for that. And apparently, from what they said, the sequel's going to be made and come out in I think around 2008. So they're going to probably be expanding that line as we move up to the sequel. And so now Narnia is kind of a full-fledged franchise film series, as it goes, and that's a great thing from a merchandising point of view, because now it means that a lot more people are going to be, if you enjoyed the movie, this is a way that more people could be interested in licensing it, because it's a little more evergreen, and by that I mean it's one of those things that stays around for a while. I wouldn't call Lord of the Rings evergreen, but you definitely had a 4 to 5 year period where you had a lot of marketing and a lot of attention on it. And so it wasn't one of these, it differed greatly from a regular movie line where you pretty much have realistically a movie's life at the theater is probably about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month. If it's Star Wars, that's different, but as a general rule, even Kong, maybe a month at your retail. And that's about it. And then after that, it's like on to the next thing, and the next big movie, the next whatever. But movies like Narnia, franchises, I should say, are good because they can actually, for the people who like them, it's good if you want to get merchandise, because a lot more people are more willing to take the risk on that, even though obviously they'll, take a risk on something like Kong or things along that line. So anyway, this is be the first podcast for tonight, first chapter, I guess you might say. And it's pretty much all Mega Bloks, but they had a lot of cool stuff. I was impressed with Mega Bloks last year, a lot of the stuff that they had brought out. And this year is more of, more good stuff. I love Lego. I'm not going to put down Lego because I think they're a great company. But stuff I wish Lego would do that Mega Bloks is doing are like the crew packs, where you can get minifigures to populate, either army building or really army building. That's what you want them for. And the thing is, there may be license restrictions on some of their licenses where they can't do that. Say for Star Wars, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they can sell a pack that's like 5 stormtroopers, but man, it makes total sense to me. Make a little armory or stuff. I know they don't want the focus of their lines to be on the figures. They want it to be on the building, but a lot of people want a lot of the figures, and I think that's one thing Mega Bloks has done well. And I also think they've done a great job on continuing with a lot of smaller, lower-priced sets, because that's a good thing I think about Exoforce too from Lego, is that they have a fair number of lower priced sets, and I think that's appealing, because then a parent doesn't have to sit there and go, I need to spend $50 or $70 on this set. I can buy, there might be 4 $20 sets or $15 sets, but if you spend it $15 at a time, it lets you stretch it out. Also gives the kids something to look forward to, and it's just a lot easier. I think it's a lot, I like big sets. I'm not against big sets, but I think a lot of lines, maybe you could have one big set in them and then lots of smaller sets. And once you get below $20, $25, you're a lot more likely to get an impulse buy on it. But regardless of that, I just think Mega Bloks is doing a lot of good stuff, and their minifigures are really nice. They have the Pirates. Pirates are the ones that they added in articulation, and again, they're just really cool. Oh, and one thing I wanted to throw in before I'm done with them, I've really been impressed with the way they've been very innovative with the packaging. It's not just a box. They got the eggs for the dragons and the skulls for the pirates, and they're really trying to stretch it a little bit instead of like a standardized box. They're trying to, and not being standardized is bad in a way from a packaging point of view, because obviously stores want things that are easy to stock. If it fits on a shelf or goes on a peg, that's easy, But one cool thing, like there was a shark in, I think, the Smuggler's Fort set. Well, now they've got it's like that dude is like a minnow, and they've got a new Jaws in town, this giganimous shark that can like swallow 5 of those dudes. And what's cool is that the set that he comes in, it's got like a bite out of the corner. That's going to be on the regular Pirates line, though, not a Pirates of the Caribbean. But all in all, it's actually some really good stuff from Mega Bloks. I mean, they're doing a lot of good stuff, and it's a lot of innovative stuff, and it's definitely a great time if you're a building person, if you like construction sets, because Lego's making some awesome sets, and so's Mega Bloks, and I like having a choice. I mean, that's great. It's great to have them both. They complement each other, and I just totally have been digging the Pirates line, and I'm glad they're basically this is going to be like a pirate onslaught year, so there'll be a ton of them. But that'll be it for podcast number 1, and we'll come back and start off part 2 with a little Playmates information, and we'll kind of go from there. So that's it for part 1.